Good morning, everyone. Guys, the world is absolutely collapsing. We've got David Lammy, our Foreign Secretary, doubling down on his statements he made about Donald Trump. We've got riots in Leeds. Guys, there's so much happening in the world. I've also been asked to, one of you guys in the comments asked what the nuclear fallout would be if Russia were to attack the United Kingdom. So I'm going to do that also today. But guys, things are happening in the world and you can't not look at them now. Things I've been saying months and months and months ago, it's all happening now. This morning I switched on the news and mainstream media are talking about the Russian shadow fleet of oil tankers. I reported on that a long time ago. All this stuff, it's coming into the foreground now, what I was talking about a long time ago. So guys, when I give you these predictions, these long-term predictions, they usually come true. Guys, let's just begin then. Let's just start because I've not got a script today because I'm in a bit of a rush. My daughter finishes school today, so we're going camping. Where do I do? Guys, I want to share a screen. Hang on. So I want to click that one and then this one. And then this one. No, is that sharing? Hang on. Yeah, there we are. Right, so Foreign Secretary David Lammy defends calling Trump a neo-Nazi sociopath. Guys, can you remember first of all, can you remember when I said that this man is the worst, could quite possibly be the worst choice for Foreign Secretary out of my nephew, he's 14, and my nephew's 14, and I think he would do a better job. Anyway, guys, but we've got David Lammy. Now, he was asked on Sky News if he still stands by his statement about Donald Trump when he called him a neo-Nazi. And, he didn't refuse that. He just gave some fake answer where he didn't really mean anything. Now, can you remember when back in it seems like months ago, but back when the reform candidates were, when the reform candidates were looking, when all the reform candidates were getting tweets pulled out from like years ago when they'd said something, and they were made to stand down. We have a foreign secretary now, guys. I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm just saying it is what it is. We have a foreign secretary who's called Donald Trump a neo-Nazi sociopath in the past, and he's not apologizing for that, and he's not going back on it. He's sticking to his guns. Now, do we think Donald Trump's going to be the next United States president or not? Personally, I don't see any way he can't be at this moment, but I feel this is by design. Because we need to see this divergence of the United Kingdom and the United States, because we're going to have these different war zones flare up, and if the United States have distanced themselves from the UK, if it looks on the outside that the United States and the United Kingdom are political, not adversaries, but goodness, I forgot how to talk, politically prickly, then that kind of stops the Russians targeting the United States for somewhat. And it also stops the potential enemies in the Middle East targeting the United Kingdom. Guys, we're seeing these roads laid out in front of us. It's there for everyone to see. What else have we got, guys? Riots in Leeds. Where do we do, guys? So, guys, harrowing scenes from Leeds. In the Har Hill area of Leeds. So, as I understand it, hang on, let me get rid of this. How do I get rid of this? I'm just going to leave that. I'm going to let that run, guys, because I don't want to delete it and press some and have a pop-up come up. So violence broke out in Leeds on Thursday night with rioters overturning a police car and setting a double-decker bus on fire. People in Har Hill were urged to stay at home as officers were called to Luxor Street about 5 p.m. due to an ongoing incident involving agency workers and children. While the children were moved to a safe place, crowds gathered and the situation escalated with objects thrown at the police. So, guys, what does that mean? Well, I don't think these things are going to get better. I see this as just the beginning in this rioting, public order, what we call it, criminal gangs. Remember when I did that top 10 video, guys, of top 10 soft targets in the UK? I said, guys, the first target, I said right there at number 1, it's the easiest one to do. Increasing crime, increasing public order. So right now, guys, and this is only going to escalate. Why? The weather. It's really nice weather today, really hot weather. So people are going to be out. People are going to be out in the streets. People are going to be out drinking. You know, the political climate at the moment in that particular region, you know, I think we've reached a critical mass. What do I mean by that? Enough people are going there. Enough people are on social media posting videos, posting this, posting that, posting different opinions. You know, these things have a tendency to spread. Remember when the what was that guy's name? Like a couple of years, I want to say a couple of years back, but it may be more. London was absolutely burning because, you know, people were rioting over, you know, over an incident that happened. There was a guy and he was shot by the police. I can't remember his name, but basically the whole of London was up in flames. You know, these riots spread to other places in the country. And guys, these things happen. They always happen on a Friday. Well, they don't always happen on a Friday. More than likely happen on a Friday because staff are minimum, you know, and you just get a lot less resistance on a Friday because people go home, and especially now with the kids breaking up for school. Excuse me. So you have kind of got a really, you know, a lot of ingredients for this public order, these riots to spread. So yeah, you've got the weather, people will be out drinking. The political climate in the UK is an absolute catastrophe. We've reached critical mass, I feel. There's a lot of stuff going on social media. You know, if it doesn't spread today, it will spread soon. Because what you'll have in the background to this, you will have, you know, Russian bot farms on social media where they're spreading whatever the cause of this was. You will have our adversaries now on social media, on their platforms. They'll all be sat in a room, maybe Russian speakers, maybe North Koreans, maybe Chinese. We don't know. You know, they'll all be there in a room and they'll be sharing memes, sharing hatred, sharing misinformation, everything to fuel that fire. What you'll also see is these agent provocateurs that go in there, you know, so these protests will be relatively peaceful, and then people with masks will come in and they will just start smashing things up. They'll throw petrol bombs. They'll take it to the next level. And once that critical mass, you know, once that critical mass reaches, you know, critical mass, everybody else joins in. Everybody else starts, and then it just turns into carnage. Now, this, guys, I feel, well, I know for a fact that this will be happening. You know, you see it all over. You know, one of my jobs when I was in the military was to sit back and try and identify these ringleaders. And you see it, you know, in Northern Ireland. I've got a lot of experience in Northern Ireland watching this sort of stuff. And you can sit back and you can watch these protests grow. And the protests, you know, I don't want to, you know, are relatively peaceful until a certain point. You get a certain gang, and it's only a small gang of people. And then that small gang of people, you know, they just start these things. You know, they go really, you know, they increase the violence, they throw petrol bombs, they take it to the next level. Once that happens, the police have to move in heavy-handed, and then, you know, it just starts then. That's when everything starts. And then those people who started the incident, they go home then, their job's done. So that's what happens normally. Do we have potentially Russian agents living and working in the UK? I don't know. Is it possible for people in other countries to affect our social media feeds? Absolutely. You know, we've seen this happen. We know it happens. It's, you know, it's out there, and it's the reality. Guys, I'm trying to keep this video short. So one of the comments in, I think, my video yesterday, somebody asked, how would it look, the United Kingdom, if we was hit with a nuclear, you know, nuclear weapon? So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to share a screen here, and we're going to go on to this one. No, that one. Right. So what we're going to use is this as an example, guys. So we're going to use this here. If you look at this, so we look at these. So we've got what's the most likely attack towards the United Kingdom. So we know that the Russians are using Kinzhal missiles with, you know, it's a trusted system. It works. You know, it works. It's tested. They've got a lot of reliability on this system. So if we look at a Kinzhal system, we're looking here, guys, with an 10 to 50 kiloton warhead. That's what it says there. Look, guys, I've just highlighted it there. 10 to 50 kiloton warhead. So if we use that as our starting point, oh goodness, hang on. Let me move that. Yes. And then if we go on here, guys, I'll put the link in the description. Hang on. Right, so let's scroll out of here. So this is like a nuke map thing. You can check where what a nuclear weapon would look like. Right, so let's just go with Manchester, guys, because I don't have time to do all of them. But wherever you live in the UK or whatever, you know, you can go on here and look yourself. So let's no, that doesn't work. Hang on, I've totally wrong it there. Right, I need to drag this. Right. So let's put that in the middle of Manchester. Let's do 50 kilotons, which would be obviously from what we've just seen, 50 kilotons. Let's go, what we're going to do, surface or airburst? Airburst would be worse. So let's go airburst. Let's look at casualties and radioactive fallout. And I thought I said donate then. Right, so that's where you'd be looking, guys, okay? That's if one of these Kinzhal missiles hit Manchester Centre, that's what you're looking at there, guys, right? That kind of radius. So this, like the yellow epicenter there, that will be the fireball radius. So that would be a fireball of 0.32 kilometers. So everything in that radius would be destroyed. Then this green one here, this would be, you know, the radiation radius. I'm just reading it there, guys. You know, likely fatal in about 1 month, 15% survivors. So you get 15% surviving in that radius. This one would be moderate blast damage radius. Overpressure, most residential buildings would collapse. Injuries are universal, fatalities widespread. Chances of fire starting in commercial and residential buildings are high. And then we've got the next yellow one. Thermal radiation. So this is, wow, this is out to 32 kilometers. Third-degree burns extended throughout the layers of skin and are often painless because they destroy the pain nerves. Have you ever had that, guys, where you get a burn that it's so deep it doesn't hurt? And then you've got this brown grey line here, light dust damage radius, 1 psi, around 1 psi overpressure, glass windows breaking. This may cause injuries, and surrounding population comes to windows after seeing flash of the nuclear explosion, which travels faster than the pressure wave. So basically, people see the nuclear flash, they look out the windows, then the pressure wave comes, and you get glass in your face. So guys, if you see a nuclear blast, don't go to the windows. So that's what Manchester would look like. Now, where's the fallout? I can't see the fallout on there, guys. Anyway, but what we've said, the wind in the UK, there we are, guys, look. So the fallout will be going that way, so the fallout will be going over the Derbyshire Hills, over, what's that, I think that's is that Snake Pass? Or, no, that's Woodhead. So it'd be Holmfirth, Huddersfield, Brighouse, Bradford, Leeds, Wakefield, all that area would be in the fallout path of any debris that were falling. So that's it, guys. You know, estimated fatalities, 81,000, estimated injuries, just shy of 250,000. Let me stop sharing. So guys, that's it really. The news of the day, and just, you know, the message to get out there that I think is the most relevant for today is these riots in Leeds. I just see this as the beginning. You know, I really do, guys. You know, I mean, look, we've got Zelensky in addressing the UK cabinet at the moment. This is the first time this has happened since, I think, Clinton in '97. You know, so he's got a private audience, just Zelensky and the cabinet. So no doubt there'll be more money for Ukraine, more weapons for Ukraine, and that's what you're seeing, guys. You know, we've just got to accept that the UK is committed to fighting Russia in Eastern Europe. That's just it. You know, that's the reality. We've also got to accept that the United States will, you know, look, in my opinion, the United States is going to have a war in the Middle East, either defending Israel with Iran, something around that region, guys. You know, I don't see how this can't happen at the moment. You know, look at, you know, JD Vance's stance on Israel and what he said. You know, these things have been laid out in front of us. Just be aware of them, guys, and just don't be surprised when these things happen. Imagine if you live in Leeds at the moment, what's it called, Harhill. Imagine how quickly this has descended. And imagine this could happen anywhere, guys, in the United Kingdom. I've worked lots, you know, I've spent lots of my years in the Middle East, in, well, Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Syria, Erbil, yeah, that's part of, that's part of, you can argue it's part of Iraq, all over that region. And when these things happen, they happen really, really quickly. Let's not forget things happen in Eastern Europe as well. Things happen all over. When they happen quickly. Imagine if you live, in Leeds, now in this area. Would you want to be going out to the supermarket to get some groceries right now? No, of course not. You would wish you had at least some food and water for a couple of days in your basement for these incidents. Guys, make sure you've got you and your family ready. I'm going to, back to grid, I'm going to try and do another video later.